This Shopify store has made multiple $1 million in sales using only Pinterest ads. That's right, no Facebook ads whatsoever, only Pinterest ads. This is a case study, so let's get into it. So this video is going to be a case study of a Shopify store that has been making well over $1 million in sales in the past year and also previous years before that, using only Pinterest ads as their main marketing method. So that means they haven't been using any Facebook marketing, any Facebook advertising whatsoever. So this is definitely a great way, a great store to showcase to you guys that it's also possible to be very successful on Shopify, just in general with e-commerce, using not only influencer marketing and or Facebook advertising. But before we jump into the store real quick, as per usual, I'm going to be giving away one free consulting call in this video. All you guys have to do is leave a like, comment, and subscribe. In this consulting call, I will be helping you out with your Shopify store, whether it is to get your very first sale, to scale your store to the next level, finding the right winning dropshipping product, or just you need help with setting up your correct Facebook ads. And right here, you'll see last video's giveaway winner. Congratulations to you. Write me a DM on Instagram so we can schedule your consulting call. So I'd say let's start off by taking a look what store I'm talking about. Now the store that I'm talking about is Julie Mart. Julie Mart is a store that is mainly dedicated and selling items in the clothing and accessories niche. So this store is just a very simple store that is selling typical clothing items. They've established a well-known brand. They have some very typical dropshipping clothing items that have been very hyped as of recently. Here you guys can see some of their best-selling products. These pair of shoes, this blouse, and also another top. What is interesting is that each of these products do not have reviews except this particular dog bed right here. I do think that is their best-selling product at the moment. They're bringing in lots of sales with this particular product. And another thing that really shot straight into my eye is their weird pricing system. They have some weird unconventional prices. I also noticed they have some reviews on this particular product as well. Let's just take a look at this product right now. So this product is a very simple product. This is a maxi dress, a type of dress that has multiple different color options, a very nice color selection method that they have integrated into their site right here. So this is very well done in my opinion. Good sizing. So whenever you guys are making and creating a clothing store, make sure you guys integrate correct sizing for each individual product. In this case, you reduce the amount of products that will get sent back when you are launching a clothing store, as that will be a common problem for you guys. As you guys might know, not every clothing fits just the way as you would imagine it to be, and therefore you will get a lot of refunds and a lot of products you will have to take back and send out again. This way, by precisely listing the correct sizes, the width, the height, etc., you will reduce the amount of refunds and products you will have to take back. So make sure you take that in when you are creating a clothing store. And we just have a very simple product description. Actually not too much informative, which is actually quite interesting. But let's just take a look at their best sellers real quick again, and then we'll dive into why they have been so successful and how I calculated their estimated revenue. So as you guys can see, just very simple clothing items that they have on their best selling list. Just very simple products that you guys can sell off. I'm not sure if they actually created these pictures themselves or they just took these products from AliExpress, but I do assume they created the product pictures themselves, especially for Pinterest. Pins, this would be very handy to create your own pictures, and it's always a good thing to do because I do see this being the same model between these two pictures, and in other pictures this does look like the same woman across all pictures. What is also interesting about the store, beyond just selling clothing items, they've also sprinkled in a pet product every now and then. That is a little bit weird in my opinion. So what is interesting in my opinion is that they've also sprinkled in some very good dropshipping products that have been very good over the past few years, past few months, into an, in my opinion, only clothing store just to bring in extra sales. That is not the route I would go about it, but you can just see right here, it's a very interesting approach. I guess this was somewhat of a profit maximizer. Now, if we take a look at SimilarWeb is a very useful tool that I personally use and lots of other dropshippers use to spy on other competitors. In this case, it is free to use. You just type in the website you want to spy on and you can see statistics such as traffic, sources, how many monthly visits they have over the past time, where the most traffic of their page comes from, from, and also what main marketing advertising platforms they're using. So most of the information that I've gathered regarding this store comes from SimilarWeb and just some logical thinking. So if we just take a look at their total visits over the last time, as you guys can see right here, we only had 70,000 visits in August. So if we start in the far left of this traffic overview in March 2019, we have over 310,000 visitors, which is a very, very good sum of traffic to bring to your website, to your Shopify store. That means you will definitely be getting a very good sum of money into your pocket. And also, if we take a look at April, 450,000. May, we had 370,000. And in June, we had 200,000. And in July, we only had 130,000. And in August, it dropped down to 70,000. Why it is like that, I can't tell you guys. I personally don't know. My guess would be is that they just reduced their total ad spend via Pinterest, and in general, just are reducing the amount of traffic that is coming into their website, and this is mainly organic traffic that is coming in. So if you just take a look down, most of their visitors come from the United States. Lots of people actually have heard of Julie Mart in the United States. It is quite the popular, established, cheaper clothing brand for women in the United States, surprisingly 10% from China. But the very most interesting stat for us is right here, the social stats. 55.41% of total traffic is coming from social, and over 99.87% is coming from Pinterest. That's right, almost 100% of their traffic is generated through Pinterest. Not sure why there's actually Facebook in here, but we're just gonna go with 100%. And that is very interesting to see because I haven't seen a lot of stores that are only focused on Pinterest ads, only have their main audience come in through Pinterest. So if you think back right here to the traffic overview, over 50% of the total traffic for each month came through Pinterest alone. And what is great about Pinterest in comparison to Facebook, we have a total different demographic. And in this case, for this particular store, we have our ideal audience living on Pinterest. Because the main audience and demographic of Pinterest users are mainly women, 40 plus, that is the highest percentage of people actually using Pinterest. We are targeting a phenomenal group of people for Julie Mart. In this case, that's what they did. They picked their ideal audience, their perfect platform to advertise their products for, and that's why they have been so successful. If we take a look at April, let's say, they have generated 450 total visitors to their website, and over 55% of those came through Pinterest alone. In comparison to Facebook, each CPM, so cost per mil, cost per acquisition, CPC, was all much less comparison to Facebook. So in this case, they managed to generate a lot of traffic with a much cheaper ad cost per person in comparison to Facebook. So let's say for the same amount of people they would bring in comparison to Facebook, they spend a lot less. Now let's take a look how I managed to calculate the revenue. So this is how I managed to calculate the revenue. This is just a rough estimate, obviously, but we're taking like an average of 300,000 visitors per month if we calculate it and take a look at it over the whole year so far. If we just assume their average has been roughly 300,000 monthly visitors to their webpage over the past year, I would say that is quite a good number to estimate this whole thing, as they suddenly started dropping down. And before that, I do assume that they had similar monthly visits. And for each visit, we're going to divide it by 2, just a rough estimate, because out of these 300,000 visitors, not every visitor is a unique visitor, and they must have visited the website multiple times, and therefore we're just dividing it whole by 2. So 300,000 divided by 2, so that would be an estimated 150,000 monthly unique visitors. I've calculated a rough average order value of $40 because most of their products range from $30 to $60, and I do see a lot of people grabbing an extra item, and therefore we're going with average order value of $40. Regarding the conversion rate, a lot of stores in the clothing niche have a rough conversion rate of 3%, and that's what we're going to be going here for this store. So how we calculated the sales, 150,000 unique visitors times the conversion rate, that would be 4,500 orders, and in this case, sales people that have bought from Julie Mart per month, I might add. So looking at the monthly revenue, we're going to take the 4,500 orders and we're going to multiply them times the $40 average order value, and that roughly comes together to $180,000 per month in sales. And that's how I calculated their estimated monthly revenue. Obviously, this can be more or less depending on the month, and also depending on the average order value. These are obviously just all estimated price points, estimated average order values, estimated sales. So this is definitely not an exact portrayal. These numbers are based on my calculation alone, and I also calculated the estimated revenue if they would keep up these 180,000 monthly revenue in sales times 12, that would equivalent to $2.16 million. So that is definitely a very good sum to bring in with your Shopify store, especially looking at the whole perspective that you're only advertising through Pinterest, and in this case you're saving a lot of money on ad spend. Now looking at why Julie Mart was actually so successful, they used the opportunity of marketing in an untapped marketplace, in this case Pinterest. A lot of people, a lot of dropshippers have been marketing via Instagram, especially clothing brands, and also Facebook ads very heavily in the past few years. Therefore, the ad costs are much higher for each person that wants to get into this niche, and they will have to be paying a lot more people for them to click on their link and to actually convert a purchase. This is the benefit of marketing on Pinterest, as a lot less people have been using this particular marketing method, and it will be a lot cheaper to market off your products if you have the right niche targeting the right demographic on this platform. Why they also succeeded is that they had fitting products, in this case fashion products, good products that appealed to their core demographic, in this case middle-aged moms, and this is definitely the majority of the demographic and the majority of Pinterest users. And they also had fitting posts and pins, which I will show you in just a second. Beyond that, Pinterest also has a low CPM, cost per mil, so lower cost to reach 1,000 people than Facebook, and they had to spend a lot less money on Facebook, and they had to spend a lot less money on advertising to bring the same amount of people in comparison to Facebook. If we take a look at Julie Mart's pins, for those of you that don't know how Pinterest is set up and how Pinterest looks, it's basically like this. I've typed in Julie Mart, and these are a lot of products that they have been marketing off, and products that are similar and relate to this keyword of Julie Mart. Julie Mart is one of the bigger advertisers and bigger stores that advertise on this platform, and therefore they're quite known for their products. But right here we see exactly that this is being promoted by Julie Mart right here, Julie Mart, juliemart.com, and we can just take a look at how this pin is set up to advertise. You guys can save it right here. You guys could also send it to a friend, a person that would be also interested in this particular product. Now if we take a look at Julie Mart's page itself, what is insane right here is we can see that Julie Mart has over 10 million monthly viewers. So as you guys can see, these are some promotional pins that they're bringing in new people to their store to take a look at their products and also to buy their products. As you guys can see in one of these pins, sales save up to 60% off. They're promoting 2 products in one single pin. And if we take a look at that, as you guys can see, it's very simply set up, nothing much to it. This is just a simple pin that you can also create in Canva. It's not very tough to do. And this just appeals to a very broad audience for a very cheap price, and in this case they've built a very good organic reach. And you guys can see right here they also have some videos integrated, actually some more typical dropshipping products, not just clothing alone. Now I'm going to discuss with you guys why you guys should be using this opportunity to actually start advertising on Pinterest as well, not only just on Facebook or influencer marketing through Instagram. The first step that has popped into my eye is the amount of monthly active users. So in this case, we have over 300+ million monthly users, so that is insane. Obviously, this is not the same amount as Instagram or Facebook. Instagram, I think, has roughly 500 million plus, or maybe even 600 million, and Facebook, if I'm not mistaken, between 1 and 2 billion. So this is definitely still a very good amount of monthly users. Now, another interesting stat, the total number of Pinterest users that save shopping pins daily is over 2 million plus. So in this case, people that take a look at their product, they save their product for maybe another day or two, just think about it, contemplate it, and in this case you see that they're actively interested in your product. And 2 million is definitely a good sum considering this is on a daily basis. Now 50% of the users have made a purchase after seeing a promoted pin. So obviously this is an insane metric. Every second user that has seen a promoted pin has actually gone through and bought an item that they've seen and found on Pinterest. And 64% of the Pinterest users describe the platform as a place that they find ideas, new products, and new brands that they can trust. So trust is already established much quicker and much easier through Pinterest than through other social media platforms, other marketing platforms in the past, such as Facebook and Instagram, that have really been oversaturated for many users over the past years, and they just blend out some ads. And this is definitely not the case yet with Pinterest. Over 70% of the users on Pinterest are women. So definitely taking that fact, if you're looking into advertising on Pinterest, that your main audience will be women, and you're going to be appealing to a bigger audience if you can sell a product that appeals to women and your main demographic. Now, obviously, not every single product, every single niche is suitable for Pinterest just yet. Mainly products that would be interesting for women, let's say even 20 to 50 plus. If you have a product or a niche in that regard, definitely look into advertising on this platform. Another interesting statistic is that over 85 million of these users come from USA alone. And last but not least, the most important statistic for us is the comparison of very low ad costs to Facebook that we have on Pinterest. So that means we're going to be able to reach the same amount of people, maybe even more, for a lot less money spent. So this is definitely a great method for people that say Facebook advertising is too complicated for me, Facebook advertising is too expensive for me, I don't want to learn Facebook advertising because everyone knows how to do it, I want to be an expert in a new field. Definitely look into starting advertising on Pinterest. Advertising on Pinterest and other platforms such as YouTube and Snapchat will definitely be the future of dropshipping, especially in the upcoming years, because Facebook is getting saturated slowly but surely, and also Instagram as well. Obviously, those marketplaces are still going to be going for a very long time, but it will get much more expensive to compete with bigger dropshipping companies, especially as a beginner. But I will be going through that when we're covering a new blueprint for 2019 and 2020 regarding dropshipping, a video that I will be publishing very soon. So yeah guys, that was it for today's video. This case study, how this dropshipping store has made millions using only Pinterest ads, in this case for Julie Mart. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, this case study. I hope I could help you out in any single way possible, maybe even spark your interest to advertise on Pinterest. Let me also know if I should create a video covering the fundamentals of Pinterest advertising. If you guys would be interested in that, leave a comment down below. I'd also appreciate if you guys could leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. That would be much appreciated. Much love, you guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. See you next time. Bye.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her.